All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I am Lalema Aneja Dang and with me is Abhishek Mukhopadhyay. The headlines. Centre extends nationwide lockdown till May 31. Interstate road traffic allowed. States empowered to demarcate red, orange and green zones. Curfew to continue in Himachal Pradesh till the 31st of this month. 4 special flights to bring home more than 700 stranded Indian nationals from the Gulf countries today under Vande Bharat mission. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announces 5th and final tranche of Atmanirbhar Bharat package, outlines reforms in 7 areas. Cyclone Umpun likely to intensify into an extremely severe cyclonic storm during the next 12 hours. And Leh-Manali National Highway to open for traffic today after winter closure. Centre has extended nationwide lockdown till the 31st of May. With this, the 4th phase of nationwide lockdown begins today. The lockdown since 24th March has helped considerably in containing the spread of COVID-19 in the country. The 4th phase of lockdown will, however, witness substantial relaxations than its previous versions. Centre has allowed states and union territories to demarcate red, orange and green zones. The containment zones will be located within the red and orange zones, with a small part of the area also demarcated as a buffer zone. With directions of extra caution for the buffer zones, government has directed that no activities except for medical and essential supplies to be allowed in the containment zones. Home Ministry has put out a list of activities which will remain prohibited throughout the country till the next 14 days. Here's a report.
All domestic and international air travel of passengers except for medical or security services shall remain prohibited even in the 4th phase of lockdown. This, however, does not include the flight operations permitted by Home Ministry for select purposes. Except for Shramik Special, few other special trains, parcel and freight trains, the railways as well will not resume its complete passenger operation. Metro trains too will have to wait in the 4th phase of lockdown. School, colleges, educational, training and coaching institutions will also remain shut nationwide. People will have to wait at least for the next 14 more days before going out to a restaurant, hotel or for any such hospitality service as they continue to remain closed. However, for the ease of passengers, eateries and canteens have been permitted to operate at railway stations, airports and bus depots. Anand Chaturvedi, AIR News, Delhi.
Other than the nationwide prohibited activities, state and union territories will decide on all other activities to be allowed in the 3 demarcated zones. They will also decide on resuming the intra-state bus and other vehicular services. As far as interstate movement of buses and vehicles is concerned, consent of both the concerned states will be necessary. Apart from these fresh relaxations, which will allow majority of the shops to be opened, government has also allowed opening of sports complexes and stadiums. Spectators would, however, not be allowed at these places. Online and distance learning is permitted and steps will be taken to encourage it further. Home delivery of food items from restaurants will also continue as before. Government has urged the employers to ensure at large that Arogya Setu app is installed by all employees in their mobile phones. Government has also advised people above 65 years of age or with comorbidities, pregnant women and children below the age of 10 years to stay at home till the lockdown is in place.
The guidelines issued by the Home Ministry specify the national directives for COVID-19 management which shall apply to public places and workplaces. Under these guidelines, wearing of face covers is compulsory, spitting will be punishable with fine, and social distancing is to be followed by all persons in public places and in transport. A report.
Marriage-related gatherings shall not have more than 50 guests. For funerals and last rites, the maximum number of persons allowed has been kept at 20. Consumption of liquor, pan, gutkha and tobacco is not allowed in public places. The practice of work from home should be followed to the extent possible, and staggering of work hours should be adopted. There should be provision for thermal scanning, hand wash and sanitizers at all entry and exit points in common areas. In workplaces, social distancing should be ensured through measures like adequate distance between workers and adequate gaps between shifts. Suparna Sekia, AIR News, Delhi.
Union Health Ministry has said that states can designate red, orange and green zones for COVID-19 management. In a letter written to the state chief secretaries, Health Secretary Preeti Sudan has shared parameters such as active COVID-19 cases, doubling and fatality rates for states to follow while categorizing areas into red, orange or green zones. Ms. Sudan said the benchmarks for critical level for total active cases would be more than 200 and for desirable levels it will be 0 or no reported case in the last 21 days. In case of active cases per lakh population, the critical threshold would be when it is more than 15 and for doubling rate calculated over a 7-day period. The critical level would be less than 14 days and desirable when more than 28 days. In case of fatality rate, more than 6% would be considered critical and less than 1% as desirable level. In her letter, the Health Secretary also added that a buffer zone has to be delineated around each containment zone. Buffer zone will be primarily the area where an additional and focused attention is needed so as to ensure that infection does not spread to adjoining areas. Here's more from a correspondent.
The letter containing guidelines stated that an effective field action in the containment and buffer zones will be critical to contain the disease. It said once the containment zone is delineated, the perimeter will be defined and there would be strict perimeter control with establishment of clear entry and exit points. No movement should be allowed except for medical emergencies and essential goods and services in containment zone. It said stringent action needs to be initiated within the containment zone in terms of an active search for case through physical house-to-house surveillance, testing of all cases and contact tracing. It also stressed on the need for strict enforcement of social distancing in such areas. Anand Kumar, AIR News, Delhi.
Cabinet Secretary Rajiv Gauba held a video conferencing with state chief secretaries last night. He requested state officials to cooperate in running of more Shramik special trains to facilitate the movement of migrant workers. Chairman Railway Board, who was also present at the video conference, assured that more number of special trains can be started if the states provide quick clearances. State governments have been asked to make DMs and SPs responsible for safety and well-being of migrant labour. Cabinet Secretary also told that those migrants found walking to be escorted to camps and their movement by Shramik special trains needs to be facilitated. Railway Ministry has said that only special trains, Shramik specials, parcel and freight services will operate during the 4th phase of lockdown. Railway Ministry said there is no change in the rail operations and it will be the same as in Lockdown 3. The Shramik special trains and the 15 pairs of special trains will continue to run along with the freight and parcel services. Railways had started running Shramik special trains from the 1st of this month to move migrant workers, pilgrims, tourists, students and other persons stranded at different places due to the lockdown. All regular passenger services, including mail, express, passenger and suburban services, will remain cancelled till the 30th of next month.
In Himachal Pradesh, Chief Minister Jairam Thakur said curfew has been extended in the state till May 31st in wake of growing coronavirus cases. Noting that coronavirus cases had increased after the return of stranded people from other states, the Chief Minister said that the number of cases may rise further as about 60,000 more people are expected to come back to Himachal Pradesh. In Tamil Nadu, state government has allowed several relaxations in 25 districts where the prevalence of coronavirus infection is less. More from a correspondent.
The Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Edappadi Palaniswamy has said his government will talk to the centre to resume the operation of the Vande Bharat evacuation flights to the state. His assurance comes in the wake of the state not finding a place in the schedule for the second phase of the country's largest ever repatriation exercise. In the first phase, 10 flights were operated to Chennai and Trichy, bringing 1,665 people, while the two naval ships, INS Jalashwa and INS Magar, helped to bring 264 people from abroad. Mr. Palaniswamy has said Rajdhani Express trains to Chennai will be operated twice a week by the railways. Jai Singh, AR News, Chennai.
Rajasthan government will issue detailed guidelines today after the extension of lockdown till May 31st. Our correspondent has filed this report.
Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot has said that the state government would run Shramik special buses to provide relief to the migrants. These buses will be run for those places where the number of workers going there will not be enough for the special trains. Shri Gehlot appealed that other states should also send the workers of Rajasthan by special buses. A public awareness campaign will be launched by the government in 11 districts including Jalore, Pali, Sirohi, Dungarpur, Banswara to make migrants aware to follow quarantine rules. Meanwhile, random sampling has been started by the medical department in all the jails of the state to prevent corona infection. Jitendra Dwivedi, AIR News, Jaipur.
Gujarat Chief Minister Vijay Rupani has said that the guidelines related to Lockdown 4 will be finalized today. More from our correspondent.
At the one end, the COVID-19 cases in the state are constantly increasing, but at the other end, the recovery rate also improved and gone up to 39.53%. As the nationwide lockdown extended up to 31st May, the state government has decided to finalize the new guidelines by today evening. Chief Minister Sri Vijay Rupani announced that the people will get relaxations, but the Lockdown 4 will also be implemented very strictly. He said that the people will be fined ₹200 for not wearing masks and spitting at public places. According to the sources, government is likely to allow the movement of 2 and 3 wheelers from tomorrow. Yogesh Pandya, AR News, Ahmedabad.
In view of the growing cases in Maharashtra, the state government extended the ongoing curbs until May 31st, hours before the national lockdown was extended for the similar duration. More from a correspondent.
The minister has informed that as per the new guidelines issued by the centre regarding discharge of coronavirus patients, henceforth asymptomatic COVID-19 positive patients will be discharged on the 10th day of the hospitalization. Besides this, centre's fresh guidelines regarding regions where clusters of infected patients have been found across state are also being implemented. Presently, there are 1,688 active containment zones in state, and in last 24 hours, 14,972 teams have surveyed 63.83 lakh people across state. The 3 Shramik special trains with 24 coaches each left for Azamgarh, Lucknow and Basti regions in Uttar Pradesh from Panvel station at Navi Mumbai. Sonali Ghadar Patil, AIR News, Mumbai.
Speaking exclusively to AIR News, Niti Aayog CEO Amitabh Kant has said that the economy should be allowed to revive in the 4th phase of lockdown. He, however, maintained that all measures to prevent further spread of COVID-19 should be ensured.
Biggest stimulus will be to open up the economy and allow economic activities to go ahead. This battle has to be fought over a long period of time. 68% of our cases are vested in 18 districts. We need to follow a very hyper-local strategy and ensure that in these districts we are able to correct, do close contact testing, as well as ensure that we are able to focus very, very strongly on the local area.
Former Director General of DRDO V.K. Saraswat said that the economic activities should be allowed in the 4th phase of lockdown.
लॉकडाउन 4.0 होगा, उसमें हमें इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी को आगे बढ़ाना है और इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी बढ़ाने के लिए देश के लोगों को एक अनुशासन के साथ अपना कार्य करने की आदत डालनी होगी और जो अनावश्यक एक्टिविटीज हैं उनको इस समय हमें बढ़ावा नहीं देना चाहिए. केवल वही एक्टिविटीज को आगे बढ़ाना चाहिए जो आवश्यक है और जिससे जो है देश की इकोनॉमिक कंडीशन का सुधार होगा.
Niti Aayog member and a renowned public health expert Dr. V.K. Paul said that more responsibility now lies with the people of this country to contain the spread of novel coronavirus with the further easing and lockdown provisions. He added that people should strictly follow the national directives to ensure prevention.
Essentially be disciplined, follow the guidelines strictly because there is restrictions are being gradually being reduced, but then that brings in the responsibility for all of us. Number one, not to cross these restrictions, and secondly, even when we are using activities which have been now allowed, we must maintain the physical distance. We must wear masks. We must make sure that we wash our hands.
You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Centre extends nationwide lockdown till May 31st. Interstate road traffic allowed. States empowered to demarcate red, orange and green zones. Curfew to continue in Himachal Pradesh till the 31st of this month. 4 special flights to bring home more than 700 stranded Indian nationals from Gulf countries today under Vande Bharat mission. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announces 5th and final tranche of Atmanirbhar Bharat package, outlines reforms in 7 areas. Cyclone Umpun likely to intensify into an extremely severe cyclonic storm to the next 12 hours. And Leh-Manali National Highway to open for traffic today after winter closure. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman yesterday unveiled the 5th and final tranche of financial stimulus and policy measures to help build a self-reliant India under the Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign. Prime Minister Narendra Modi had on Tuesday, in his address to the nation, announced a special economic package equivalent to 10% of India's GDP, amounting to 20 lakh crore rupees. Addressing a media briefing in New Delhi, Finance Minister outlined structural reforms with focus on 7 areas of Manrega, health and education, business during COVID, decriminalization of Company Act, ease of doing business, policy related to public sector units, state government and resources related to it. Under the Manrega scheme, an additional 40,000 crore rupees will be allocated for employment generation in the rural parts of the country. She said this will help to generate nearly 300 crore person days to provide relief to the migrant workers.
Government will now allocate an additional 40,000 crores. This way will ensure that during the monsoon season, and since many of them have gone back to their villages, and if they enroll, they will get the jobs. So 40,000 crore of this is additionally given over and above the BE.
The Finance Minister said more than 11,000 crore rupees have been released to the states as advance from State Disaster Relief Fund in the first week of April, and Ministry of Health and Family Welfare released another 4,113 crore rupees for direct anti-COVID activities. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said measures and reforms announced by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman will have a transformative impact on country's health and education sectors. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said they will boost entrepreneurship, help public sector units and revitalize the village economy. 4 special flights from the Gulf countries are expected to bring home more than 700 stranded Indian nationals under the Vande Bharat mission today. Here's more from our correspondent.
More than 700 people are expected to go back to India on the special flight day from the Gulf countries. There are 2 flights from UAE. One flight is from Dubai to Mangaluru and the other from Abu Dhabi to Kochi. Muscat will fly back more than 175 people to Hyderabad, while Doha will send back another 175 people to Kozhikode. Priority is being given to distressed blue-collared workers, medical emergency cases, pregnant women, stranded tourists and elderly people to go back on these special flight. Only those found asymptomatic will be allowed to board the flight. Meanwhile, from Dubai, a special flight to Srinagar is also being planned later in the week. Kanchan Prasad, AIR News, Dubai.
Meanwhile, 2 more flights will leave Dhaka over the next 2 days starting today under second phase of the Vande Bharat mission. One flight will leave for Kolkata today, while another flight will leave for Srinagar tomorrow. The process of evacuation of Indian citizens from Bangladesh started on May the 8th. More than 950 Indian nationals have been evacuated from Bangladesh during the first phase of Vande Bharat mission.
In an effort to guard against fake news being circulated on various platforms, we bring you a segment on fact-checking and mythbusters. Air India has clarified that its flight bookings are currently closed. It said flight bookings will resume only after directions of the government. The airline said an internal mail has been circulated in media, which is misunderstood and misrepresented. Airline has advised passengers to follow Air India Twitter handle regarding resumption of flight operations. The News Services Division of All India Radio in its bilingual live phone-in program today will bring you a special discussion program on COVID-19. Dr. Avdesh Sharma, an eminent psychiatrist and consultant, will participate in the discussion. Listeners can ask questions related to stress, anxiety and depression during the COVID-19 pandemic on toll-free telephone number 1-800-115767. You can also ask questions on telephone number 011-2331-4444 and post queries on a Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts by hashtag AskAIR. This can be heard tonight on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:25 p.m. onwards. This program will also be available on our website newsonair.com and on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. You can also follow us on the News on AIR app for updates. Participating in AIR News Talk Show yesterday, Dr. Lieutenant General Ved Chaturvedi, Senior Consultant in the Department of Rheumatology and Clinical Immunology at Sir Gangaram Hospital, said during the last 2 months, people understood the importance of hygiene.
कहीं ना कहीं हमको बैलेंस बनाना पड़ेगा. जहाँ ज्यादा है, जहाँ रेड जोन है, कंटेनमेंट जोन है, यूनिवर्सल जो चीजें हैं वो सबको मानना ही है. और ये हमारे देश को 2 महीने में लगभग समझ में आ गया है कि हमको हैंड हाइजीन का पालन करना है. सैनिटाइजर या सोप, ये 2 चीजें हैं. और जिसको हम बोलते हैं फिजिकल डिस्टेंसिंग या सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग, हमें उसका बहुत अच्छी तरह से पालन करना है.
Dr. Ved said that comorbidity is an important factor in COVID-19.
जो लोगों को बीमारियां हैं, जैसे किडनी की बीमारी है, हार्ट की बीमारी है, कैंसर की बीमारी है, उन लोगों को ये समझ में जरूर आ गया है, उनको अफेक्ट होगा तो वो सीरियस हो सकता है. बट ये देशवासियों को, दर्शकों को एज ए डॉक्टर मैं बताना चाहता हूं कि 100 में से 90-95% आपको कुछ नहीं होगा.
India Meteorological Department IMD has warned that the cyclone Umpun is likely to intensify into an extremely severe cyclonic storm during the next 12 hours. The weatherman said the cyclone is likely to move northwards slowly during the next 12 hours and then recurve north-northeastwards and cross West Bengal Bangladesh coasts between Digha and Hatia Islands on Wednesday afternoon or evening. Coastal Odisha is likely to experience light to moderate rainfall at many places with heavy fall at isolated places from today evening. Fishermen have been advised not to venture into North Bay of Bengal along and off West Bengal Odisha coasts till Thursday. Those who were out in the sea and had been asked to return to the coasts. As many as 17 teams of National Disaster Response Force NDRF have been deployed in Odisha and West Bengal. Our Cuttack correspondent has the details.
In a press briefing, Special Relief Commissioner of Odisha Pradeep Kumar Jain discussed the state's preparedness regarding the impending cyclone which is likely to affect Odisha's coast. The collectors of 4 districts, Bhadrak, Baleshwar, Jagatsinghpur and Kendrapada have been asked to stay alert and take all necessary preventive measures. NDRF teams have been deployed in these districts. Additionally, a warning has also been issued to Nayagarh, Khurdha, Puri, Dhenkanal, Mayurbhanj, Gajapati, Ganjam and Jajpur districts. According to IMD, these districts are likely to experience slight to moderate rainfall with heavy falls at isolated places from evening of May 18 to May 20. During this time, the fishermen in Odisha have been advised to not to venture into deep sea. Itish Singh Rathod, AIR News, Cuttack.
The 490-kilometer long Leh-Manali National Highway connecting Ladakh with the rest of the country will be open for traffic today. Border Roads Organization BRO has cleared snow off the highway. The road has been open for traffic 1 month in advance compared to the previous year despite the COVID-19 restrictions. More from a correspondent.
Project Himank and Project Deepak of Border Roads Organization has cleared snow from over 16,000 feet high Barlacha Pass and nearly 17,500 feet Tanglangla Pass, considering the most challenging stretches for the snow clearing teams. Braving all odds, especially the bone-chilling winds and the threat of avalanches, the BRO has cleared snow accumulation in these sectors, recorded over 35 feet at places and has an average height of 15 feet. Ladakh remains cut off from the mainland over 5 months in winters due to snowfall. The opening of Manali-Leh road benefits the civilian populace in the region as much needed supplies including eatables ferry through these highways. Ramesh Chandra for All India Radio News from Sarchu.
Now let's take a look at the weather forecast for today. In the national capital, minimum temperature will be 25 degrees Celsius, while maximum temperature is expected to be around 42 degrees Celsius. Delhi is likely to witness partly cloudy sky with possibility of thunderstorm. Mumbai will witness generally cloudy sky. The minimum temperature is likely to be 28 degrees Celsius, while maximum will be around 35. In the south, Chennai will see a generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. The temperature will hover between 29 and 37 degrees Celsius. In the east, Kolkata will witness partly cloudy sky with the possibility of moderate rain or thunderstorm. The minimum temperature will be 28 degrees Celsius, while maximum 37. On to the north, in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, the minimum temperature will be 22 degrees Celsius in Jammu, while maximum will be around 37 degrees Celsius. The city will see mainly clear sky. In Srinagar, the minimum temperature will be 11 degrees Celsius, while maximum will be 23. The region is likely to be partly cloudy, with the possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. Similar weather is expected to prevail in Gilgit. The temperature will hover between 13 and 28 degrees Celsius. In Muzaffarabad, the sky will be clear during the day with the possibility of becoming partly cloudy by the evening. It will witness minimum temperature of 13 degrees Celsius and maximum temperature of 33 degrees Celsius. In Jammu and Kashmir, Agriculture Production Department has been taking various steps to ensure unhindered agriculture activities during the lockdown situation.
As farmers usually start sowing up seeds in the month of March and April, Agriculture Department in Kashmir normally distributes seeds and seedlings among the farmers through division and district level officers. But during the prevailing crisis, the department has taken up distribution of seeds by home delivery, and this practice would continue to minimize the movement of farmers. Meanwhile, under the campaign Aaiye Sabzi Ugayein, Department of Agriculture in Kashmir has distributed seedlings for kitchen garden among the public at Lal Mandi in Srinagar. This campaign is aimed to ensure that the growers and public in general make good use of spaces and benefit from healthy produce of vegetables in these extraordinary circumstances. Sunil Kohl for AR News from Srinagar.
In Madhya Pradesh, in a first-of-its-kind initiative, Charan Paduka campaign has been started for the migrant labourers passing through the state. Under this campaign, migrant labourers going barefoot are being provided shoes and slippers by the police at most places. Here's a report.
The Charan Paduka campaign started from the Rao police station of Indore. Police station in charge Dinesh Verma said that this initiative is getting full support of public.
पुलिस वालों ने मिलकर अपने पैसों से हम लोगों करीब 15,000 रुपयों से सबसे पहले 200 जोड़ी चप्पल जूते हम लोगों ने खरीदे और फिर उसको हम लोगों ने जब बाईपास पर देना शुरू किया तो एक अलग ही खुशी मिली। 300 से 500 जोड़ी चप्पल जूते जो है मिल रहे हैं शूज पेयर अभी देने का प्रयास कर रहे हैं और बाकी लोगों ने भी शुरू किया है देना तो अच्छी बात है।
Now this human initiative has spread in many cities of Madhya Pradesh including Damoh, Umaria and Sagar. Umaria SP Sachin Sharma said that we are trying to reduce the pain of migrant labourers and send them to their homes respectfully. Migrant labourers are also very happy with this initiative of the police.
बहुत अच्छा लगा कि आपने यहाँ पे हमें रोका और कुछ खाना दिया, चप्पल दी पहनने को।
The Charan Paduka campaign is not only a human initiative but inspiring too. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
And now an overview of today's newspaper's highlights. States to fix zones in lockdown 4.0 is the Hindustan Times headline referring to government's recent 2-week extension. Kickstarting the economy, the final push. States can borrow but with riders, says Business Standard. The Economic Times says that India along with 61 countries have backed the joint Australian and EU motion for an inquiry into the corona outbreak but without mentioning China. Punjab farmers are shifting from traditional sowing method to direct seeding of rice due to labour shortage, says The Hindu. The Tribune reports of noted environmentalist Balbir Singh Sichewal being elated at yet another river, Chitti Bain in Jalandhar, becoming purer now as no industrial waste is going into it. The Financial Express reports that 2 sets of Indian origin siblings being the top 2 wealthiest families in United Kingdom, the Hinduja brothers and the Reuben brothers. And finally, all newspapers have stories and pictures on the reverse migration happening from cities to villages. Anirudh Jhare pushed differently abled Gayu's tricycle for 5 days from Jodhpur to Muzaffarnagar, covering 350 kilometers, is a heart-rending story in the Times of India.
And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Centre extends nationwide lockdown till May 31. Interstate road traffic allowed, states empowered to demarcate red, orange and green zones. Curfew to continue in Himachal Pradesh to the 31st of this month. 4 special flights to bring home more than 700 stranded Indian nationals from Gulf countries today under the Vande Bharat mission. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announces 5th and final tranche of Atmanirbhar Bharat package, outlines reforms in 7 areas. Cyclone Umpun likely to intensify into an extremely severe cyclonic storm during the next 12 hours. And Leh-Manali National Highway to open for traffic today after winter closure. And with that, we end the morning news.